Hello everyone, welcome to the Certified Associate Python Programmer course. As you know, my name is Anthony Sequeira, and it's time for us to jump into, wow, I just realized it's really our first official content module, and it's using modules. All right, let's jump in. A lot of this is going to be review for you. I wanted to just remind you that one of the beauties of using modules is we can decompose complex problems. Sure, when you break your overall software code up into modules, think about it, you could have different teams working on different portions of your code with ease, and different teams assigned to kind of different functionality. Modules are nice too because we have to remember that if our software is going to be a big hit, then software growth is an inevitable part of that. Think about some of your favorite applications. I'm thinking about like Microsoft Word for me, where I've used this for decades to create books and various training materials. Boy, oh boy, has Microsoft Word grown over those decades? Of course it has. What it can do just continues to grow and grow and grow. And Word was maybe a bit of a silly example when you consider software packages that do a little more for us than just one thing, word processing. So we are going to not just be using these modules, but we're also going to be teaching you how to create them. So just keep that in mind. Our emphasis here is on the use of them, but we'll be creating them together as well. Remember, modules can be a nice container for you for things like your functions, your variables, your constants, and a lot more. Now, the reason we're not elaborating on the not more portion here is because a lot of the things that they could create will be objects, part of our object-oriented programming, and we really haven't covered that yet. But suffice it to say, modules can contain a lot of important stuff for you. Remember, too, that you don't have to look very far for a whole bunch of modules that you have access to. The standard library of Python, as you know, is going to have a whole bunch of modules there and waiting for you that you can take advantage of. The math module, one of the modules you know we have to take a closer look at, the math module is a great example of one of those modules. The random module, another module that we'll discuss, is a great example of one of those standard library modules. And you probably remember, if you want to start working with that module, no problem. You just go to your code and you say import math. As long as you do the import before you start mentioning any of the functions or variables or whatever you're going to be using from the math module, as long as you say import math before you start using that stuff, you're going to be just fine. Now, notice you might have multiple modules that you need to be working with in your code. No problem at all. You could do multiple import statements, or to save lines in your code, you can do what we see here. You can say import math, comma, random. So here you're needing the functions and stuff that is inside of both of those modules, and you're just getting the import done so much more efficiently there. Now, one of the things that I need to remind you about is our powerful namespaces that we have in Python. That's going to explain a lot. For example, have you worried about this? What if inside your code you have this my variable and you've set it equal to a value, but then in the module that you are importing, you have the same exact variable name. And sure enough, the variable is set to some other value. Oh my goodness. How are we going to handle this inside of Python? Well, the great news is Python, by default, when we import a module, is going to maintain a separate namespace. That explains why, when we are using one of these modules we've imported, using the method of just import my module, like you can see here, that explains why we need to mention that module. Yeah, so notice it's not the my variable, No, it's the myModule dot myVariable. Yeah, notice that way, this namespace is not in conflict with the namespace that we have in our code. We can easily reference the myVariable in our code, and then we can easily reference the myVariable from the myModule. Now, this changes if we import specific ingredients from the module. Excuse me, let me take a sip of beverage here. I'm getting a little bit too excited about this and I'm losing my voice. All right, no, actually the honest answer is it's early morning and I'm not typically recording early morning like this. All right, anywho, from math, import pi. Look at this. So we are going into the math module and we are telling Python we only need a certain portion of that, the portion of that that gives us our pi function. And then notice once I do that type of an import, a specific ingredient, I can just reference that ingredient. Yeah, notice area equals pi times radius to the second exponent. And don't fear, we don't have to relearn math. Okay, so let me just make that real clear right now. I should have made this clear going into it. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the math module in a later video. So please don't stress about math as you're seeing it right now. What I want you to notice though is that when we do this specific import, we are referencing what we imported just by its simple name. And notice we better not have had a pi definition inside or function inside of our code because we would be now trampling over the top of it. Yeah, so when we do these specific imports, we need to be careful about the namespace that we are encroaching upon. Keep this in mind too. Oh my gosh, this would be quite dangerous, and that's why you don't see it often. If you were to take in every single element from the math module this way, then sure enough, you could reference any single thing from the math module directly in your code, and you would have the potential to trample over quite a bit of values in your code. So we just don't often see this style done. What about using an alias? Yeah, this is another option at your disposal. So I can say import math as M. Yeah, and now, sure enough, I can just say M period whenever I want to reference all of the goodies that are in the math module. When you do this, the math module is now M, and you cannot import the math module as math anymore. Obviously, that makes just common sense. When we do the alias, it's the alias moving forward. Here's an example from math. Import pi as pi. That's right. Now I'm able to bring in a specific function under an alias. And now I can reference pi as PIE in my code. Kind of a silly example. I thought you would get a kick out of that. Just showing how, sure, we can alias under that style as well. Well, the final thing that I want to leave you with in this action-packed video on modules is let's take a look at the directory function. I had not shared this with you in our entry-level discussion. Notice we can import something like the math module, and then if we want to see all the goodness that it contains, you can do a directory of your math module. Notice it's very similar to the directory statement that we would make at a command line operating system, but here it's giving us the contents of the math module. And as you might guess, you can definitely play with everything that you've seen me done here. So I can import the math module, and then I can print like math.py, for instance. And look at that, works just fine. I can practice with aliasing, import math as M, and now I should be able to print M pi, and that should work as well. So you can play with all of the features right in your idle environment that I've shown you in this lesson. For some of you, maybe all of this was known stuff, but I'm sure there was some goodies in here regarding the use of modules that you had not seen before, and that's always great. One thing I'd like to do to kind of wrap this up, and this will give us a nice preview of what's coming, but look at all these wonderful functions that we are going to have inside of the math module. And as I said, don't panic. We're not going to, be doing things with pi and sine and radians. It's not like we're going to go on some massive math review during that particular lesson. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video here regarding the first domain of our associate level Python content. Thanks for joining me.